Yeah, that's really how I'm feeling right now. Just to work on myself and things like that. Try to better myself as a person, as a dad.
Has officially announced his retirement, right? He told the people around him that he is retiring from the sport of boxing. He is no longer going to compete in the sport of boxing due to his frustration with the way and the direction the sport of boxing is going in.
Whatever, I don't know. Maybe this could be the reason why Tank say he want to leave boxing. He gonna tap out, stuff like that. He still hasn't fought Devin Haney, and that's not going to happen.
Gervonta Davis has finally opened up about his decision to retire from boxing, revealing that he's grown tired of the fame and constant public scrutiny. He says that no matter what he says, it's often misinterpreted or exaggerated, leaving him feeling misunderstood. Davis admits the spotlight no longer allows him to be his authentic self. He also shared that his passion for boxing has faded, calling the sport lame now, ultimately leading him to walk away from
Yeah,
it.
that's really how I'm feeling right now. Just to work on myself and things like that. Try to better myself as a person, as a dad. All around human being.
Yeah. Is it the fame? Is it something that you just don't like all the attention? Or
Yeah, I'm starting to shy away from the attention and things like that come with it.
yeah, because it's like anything you do or say, it's all over the blogs. It's taken the wrong way. It's getting posted.
Yeah.
Like you can't even be yourself at this point.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, it's getting more so lame type of thing.
The main driving force behind Gervonta Davis's retirement seems to be his growing frustration with the sport and the personal challenges he's facing. According to his team, he's been under intense pressure, particularly due to an ongoing legal case involving the mother of his children. The uncertainty surrounding the outcome has taken a toll on him mentally and emotionally. His team notes that the stress has visibly impacted him, making him more detached from boxing. These factors, combined, likely played a major role in his decision to step away from the ring.
So I'm sure by now many people have heard about the news that was broken by Rick Glazier, who stated that five-time world champion, three-division world champion, undefeated superstar boxer, Gervonta Tank Davis, 30 wins, no loss, no draw, 28 wins by way of knockout. 30 wins, no losses, one draw, 28 wins by way of knockout, has officially announced his retirement, right? He told the people around him that he is retiring from the sport of boxing. He is no longer going to compete in the sport of boxing due to his frustration with the way and the direction the sport of boxing is going in.
With Gervonta Davis officially announcing his retirement, fans and analysts have been quick to react. The news gained traction after Happy Punch tweeted, "Gervonta Davis has reportedly retired from boxing after being fed up with the sport. Tank is retiring. Won't fight again," according to those close to him, citing Rick Glazier. While many were shocked by the sudden announcement, others see it as a reflection of the heavy burdens Davis has been carrying both inside and outside the ring. However, not everyone believes this is the end. According to Blue Blood Sports TV, Davis's retirement may not be permanent. The analyst suggests that Davis is currently overwhelmed by personal and professional stress, which could be influencing this decision. A key factor may be his reluctance to face Lamont Roach in a rematch, a fight he reportedly doesn't view as worth the risk. Instead, Davis is rumored to be eyeing a big-money showdown with Jake Paul on Netflix, favoring that over continuing under Amazon's promotion. This has led some to believe that the retirement talk could be more of a strategic move, similar to previous instances before his first fight with Roach.
Gervonta Tank Davis retiring? No. Has he told people this? Yes. But this is nothing new. I told you the Lamont Roach Jr. fight was off. It was going to take place in June. He was not happy with the way things were playing out. He wanted to get to that Jake Paul bag with Netflix. That has nothing to do with Amazon. Jake Paul is in charge in that situation. Ain't gonna put that money in Tank Davis's pocket. I told you guys this. But you guys don't believe me. You always love to say I'm capping or hating on Tank Davis. No, I'm just telling you what's going on behind the scenes. Gervonta Tank Davis is not going to retire. He's frustrated. He may step away from the sport of boxing for a while, but Again, he was already planning to do that before the Lamont Rose Jr. draw.
Despite ongoing speculation and mixed opinions, Gervonta Davis has officially confirmed his retirement from boxing. While many believe this could be a temporary move fueled by recent personal struggles and frustration, Davis has made it clear that he's stepping away from the sport for the time being. Whether this is a permanent farewell or just a break remains uncertain. Only time will tell what the future holds for the gifted fighter.
Davis is retired? Superstar and legendary knockout artist Tank Davis has officially retired. Or so he claims. Tank Davis has had one of the hardest 18 months in boxing. See, first he just got out of prison. Then he had a fight with Lamont Roach that should have been a pushover, which afterwards he was going to negotiate a huge money fight with Jake Paul. But Lamont Roach had a great game plan and they ended up having a draw that Lamont Roach probably should have won. It was a controversial no knockdown call. But now Gervonta Davis is once again facing jail time after some domestic abuse charges. So I really think this is temporary. He's probably just retiring for now, especially with all the legal fees this man's gonna need. Part of this is probably to avoid the Lamont Roach rematch and push that off if he can. But really, most of this is probably so he can focus on his legal issues. And then after all that is wrapped up, he's gonna get back into boxing. Boxers do fake retirements. It's just what they do. Especially after disappointing fights and doing legal troubles. Tyson Fury's in the middle of a fake retirement right now. So yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think he's really retired for good? Let me know in the comments.
Gervonta Tank Davis has officially announced that he's retiring from boxing after 2025, marking a serious move from the undefeated champion. Davis has been hinting at retirement for over a year, often expressing his exhaustion with the demands and pressure that come with the sport. He's repeatedly cited personal struggles as a major factor, recently stating he no longer even feels the anger that once fueled his drive to fight. Former world champion Antonio Tarver also weighed in on Davis's decision, voicing concern about the young fighter's direction. Tarver emphasized that raw talent and success in the ring aren't enough without personal growth and stability. He pointed out that many young boxers today face similar issues, especially in the absence of strong mentorship. To him, Davis's situation reflects a deeper issue within boxing, and it's disheartening to see such promising potential stall just when a major fight seemed within reach.
To see you right here in New York City, man. Always showing love. All right, so Jay Martinez of Fight Hood TV. So happy to see you once again. The biggest talk, let's jump into it. Obviously, we got a good weigh-in here in a moment.
Yes.
We got some good presser after this. The biggest talk that just happened moments ago, Gervonta Davis, jump into it, kind of, I wouldn't say it's a big shock to a lot of us, but, there's this mindset, the fight with Lamont's not signed yet. Apparently he's going to fight Jake Paul. Like, it's put it in and out of boxing right now.
Hey, man, I don't know, but, get these guys the bag so they can get the hell on if they not committed and dedicated to the sport. All they want is a bag. Give them a bag so they can go, bro. I mean, let these fighters that really want the shit, let's parade them. Let's get behind them. Let's support them. Let's build them. I'm not saying I don't know what happened. But I just hope and pray that young man get it together. He's at the top of his career, prime of his career. I would want him to be remembered more by the things that he's doing in the ring rather than out. But, sometimes you got to win in life, too, before you can get in that ring and win. And sometimes life is harder than any opponent that we could face. And I just hope he get it together, bro. I feel like a lot of these young men don't have no mentors, bro. It ain't no more handlers in the game, bro. It ain't nobody taking care of the camp. These guys out here on their own frequency, bro. And I just think there's no more leaders in the game, bro. They're not going to where that real energy is that can really humble these guys a little bit. We only got a short period of time to be professional boxers. This shit is over quick, bro. And you don't ever want to live with no regrets.
Bernard Hopkins urged Gervonta Davis to move beyond his legal troubles and focus on prioritizing his family. He emphasized the importance of making peace with the mother of his children and repairing those relationships. Hopkins also encouraged Davis to stay focused and maintain a positive mindset, suggesting that refocusing on boxing could help him get back on track, both personally and professionally.
The alien Bernard Hopkins. Bernard, first of all, Good to see you, my man.
Good to see you again. Yes,
Good
sir.
to see you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, there's a lot
My
to talk
second
about.
home, brother.
I'm starting to say the same thing because I'm here
Yes,
almost
you're here all the
time.
time. In and
All the
out.
time.
In and out.
Bernard, a lot to talk about. Let's jump into it real quick.
Come on.
I'm sure you saw the news about Gervonta Davis being arrested once again. Just give me your thoughts. You know,
Unfortunately, man, I hope he come out. You know what I mean? Everybody else come out. I'm not with the domestic violence thing, man, but I hope that, you know, he get that straightened out and he get back to focus on his family and his career. Family first, and then career second. But I just wish both his girl, ex-girl, his kid's mother, you know what I mean, can get things together and look forward and be positive going forward.
Bernard, you think his head, you know, is there right now with boxing? Do you think he just needs another mentor? What does he need? Because he's a great talent.
I don't know, and I don't know him that well.
Gervonta Davis has shared his personal goals outside of boxing, revealing a desire to become more grounded and supportive for the people who matter most to him. He admitted that his fast-paced lifestyle and career have often kept him distant from his daughter and family. Now, Davis is ready to make a change, shifting his focus toward emotional growth and strengthening his relationships. His commitment to seeking help and being more present in his family's life shows a deeper understanding of what truly matters to him at this point in his journey.
YouTube, Crown Jewel from Crown Jewel Boxing, back with a gym. Checked out the press conference yesterday. Watched the Rise podcast. 2 days ago, watched the Rise podcast response to it yesterday. And I just have to say, I see a lot of people think that, you know, Tank is bluffing with the retirement talk. Could be. I doubt it, though. And I'm going to tell you why I doubt it. When he talked about wanting to seek therapy and the person he has to be in order to be the fighter that he is and wanting to be a softer person, you know, for his daughters and wanting to seek therapy and become a better person and be with his children and lead a limelight, it seemed like a lot of emotion and passion in that. He seemed like he really meant what he was saying. There's a lot that comes with not only boxing, you know, because, you know, all fighters deal with certain things with being a boxer, you know, physically and mentally. But he has to deal with being a celebrity, you know, an international star on top of that. And I can't even imagine that pressure. So, you know, things get old, you know, your whole life gets scrutinized. No matter what moves he makes, you know what I mean, it's going to be accepted by some.
The timing of Gervonta "Tank" Davis's retirement seems closely tied to his recent struggles. Just ahead of a potential high-stakes rematch with Lamont Roach, Davis found himself once again facing legal issues. Shortly after his release, he announced his decision to step away from boxing. This time, his repeated statements about being exhausted with the sport feel definitive. After years of dealing with pressure, personal challenges, and public expectations, Davis appears ready to walk away in search of peace beyond the ring.
And the woman said that, hey, I looked at him and I asked him to help me, and he looked at me and he turned his head, jumped out of the car and ran, or whatever the case may be. So he has a history of doing things like this to women. Like facts. Whether you like it or not, whether you're a Tank Davis fan or not, you can't get around that. That's the truth. So now what's going to happen with the Lamont Roach fight? And better yet, you know, what's going to happen, will that fight still go on? I don't know. They haven't announced it, made an official announcement yet. We know the fight is scheduled for next month, August, but it hasn't officially been announced yet. And we do know if that fight is announced, PBC will have reporters there to tell those reporters, look, if you want to have access to Gervonta "Tank" Davis, you better not ask him certain questions. This is what goes on in the media. See, a lot of these guys, they want access to the fighters, so they have to play ball. They have to go along with the get along just so they can get access to interview the fighter. Coach Malachi, I don't give a fuck about the access. Fuck having access to the fighter. I only fuck with those who fuck with me. If you're a fighter who fuck with me, I'll fuck with you. And then, we can do an interview. That's fine. I have no problem with it because I got love for you like that and vice versa. But if it's a fighter that don't like you or don't like me or whatever the case may be, I don't give a fuck. I don't try to fit in, in the square circles. If it's a square circle, you know what I mean? If it's a square in a circle, I don't try to fit in with squares. And if you ain't in the circle, I ain't trying to get in the circle. Do you get what I'm saying? So, however, of course, these reporters, that's what they're going to do. So now as it relates to Lamont Roach, what does Lamont Roach do from here?
Commentators and fans alike have expressed empathy for Gervonta Davis's situation, recognizing the intense mental and physical toll that boxing can take. Having lived in the spotlight since a young age, Davis has carried immense pressure throughout his career. Many analysts believe that if his passion for the sport has faded, stepping away is not just smart, it's essential. There's a growing consensus that it's better to leave the ring with dignity than to push forward without the same drive, especially when fans would rather see him at peace than watching him struggle.
And, ridiculed by others, and some people grow tired of it. Living a public life ain't for everybody. He's been tremendously successful, whatever he decides to do. I wish him well. I think we need to, watch this Lamont Roach fight closely, because we've seen this in the past when Mike Tyson talks about his heart no longer being in it, or, you heard Buddy McGirt recently come out and say, the fire left him, while he was in camp in the middle of a run. I mean, it happens, and, we don't know how it's going to affect him as a fighter. I would hope, he could find it in himself to be motivated and get prepared, and be the best version of himself, because, as a Tank fan, I don't want to see him in the ring in any other capacity. If he can't bring himself to be the best version of himself, then I think he should walk away. But regardless of what he decides to do, for people like myself, I've had a great time, watching his career. I wish him the best in his personal life. He didn't say he's retiring immediately. He just said he's going to fight 3 times in 2025, and then it'll be over. Whoever those 3 fights he chooses to fight, we have to respect it. And I would just say, enjoy him while he's here, because, everybody in sports, whether it's boxing or otherwise, is only going to be active for a certain amount of time. And once it's over, it's over. So instead of, Monday morning quarterbacking, ridiculing, or criticizing, I think he's been a very special talent, and we need to enjoy him while he's here, because the end may be really near, according to what he's saying. That's all I have for y'all right now. Until next time, keep your hands up, your chin down, your ass off the floor. Peace.
Many boxing insiders believe this could be a pivotal moment in Gervonta Davis's life. Given everything he's currently facing, now may be the right time for him to pause and reassess his direction. Taking a step back could give him the space to reflect, regroup, and make meaningful changes to support his personal growth and future choices. It's an opportunity to reconnect with his values and rebuild a sense of stability away from the ongoing chaos.
That's why I don't want to box no more. I want to do therapy, right? But I feel as though if I do therapy, it will lose the fire that I have inside me. I want everything out of me where so I don't never think about fighting again. I don't think about even getting angry, you know what I mean? Because I have 2 girls, 2 daughters. I'm wanting to be much softer, you know what I mean? Be more humble and things like that.
Shout out to Tank Davis saying that he's going to go to therapy because he wants to soften up for his daughters and he wants to let go of the anger. And yes, although maybe the anger served him in his boxing career, it's not currently serving him now at the moment being the father. So shout out for Tank Davis. That's a real man. A real man is willing to be gentle in a tough, cruel world, right? It doesn't take much for us to be angry in the angry world. It takes a lot of courage for us to soften up and shine our light, whereas we've been maybe in darkness our whole lives, or maybe our darkness got us to success, right? So like Tank Davis obviously became successful, put in the anger towards boxing, but now he's on this next level of life and stepping into his therapy era, which I love to see. So shout out to Tank Davis for stepping into your healing era. Let's go.
Throughout his career, Gervonta Davis has dealt with several legal troubles, often managing to overcome them with the help of his financial means. However, a pattern has begun to emerge. His repeated involvement in similar situations points to deeper, unresolved personal struggles. Davis has openly admitted to feeling drained by everything that comes with the boxing world. Over time, that frustration has only intensified. Now, after facing one setback after another, he appears to believe that stepping away from the sport is the only path left to achieve peace and regain stability in his life.
And as I'm recording this, Tank has just gotten bonded out of jail, although the details of his bond have yet to come out. At this point, it seems like every couple years Tank has some sort of similar run-in with the law. His last major run-in came in December of 2022, where he was arrested for allegedly striking a woman with a closed hand type slap, although these charges were later dropped. But I'm not an expert on any of this, and I'm not really here to discuss details of a DV case. I'll let the courts do that. The question I think I can better speculate on is how this will impact his career. Now, his legal troubles in the past haven't done much to slow him down, so will this time be any different? To answer it in a single word, maybe. Now, Gervonta Davis is undeniably one of the biggest names in the sport, and because of the money he generates when he fights, really no matter what he does, it's hard for him not to find opportunities.
Although Gervonta Davis had previously suggested that 2025 might be his final year in boxing, there were still several highly anticipated fights on the horizon, including a potential rematch with Lamont Roach. But given recent developments and his current state of mind, those matchups now appear unlikely. This sudden shift has left fans disappointed, as these were the kind of moments that could have added another chapter to his legacy and further cemented his place in boxing history.
Davis had his press conference. I think he turned up 4 or 5 hours late. No Calvin Ford, his trainer. No Leonard Ellaby. He turned up by himself. And then he went on to say 2025 will be his last year in the sport. He wants to get therapy, and he feels like he can't get therapy unless he leaves the sport of boxing. He's got young kids, and he wants to be the best father he can for those kids. And if he continues fighting, then the therapy won't work. Kind of made sense to me.
That's it for today's